Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to share with you a SaaS that I'm building, and the SaaS is in the email space. So it's an email list newsletter SaaS. Now you may be wondering why I'm building such a difficult SaaS to and that's because it's a personal pain point for me, right? I'm in the content creation space, and being in that space, when you create a product you need to be able to reach potential students or potential customers, and one of the most effective ways of reaching your customers is via their personal email. So of course you have other channels like social media, YouTube and the rest of them, but I can say that many of those are not as effective as being able to reach your customers via their email address, and not just email address but inside of their inbox. So that's why this SaaS is kind of difficult, but it's a worthy challenge, right? So let me actually quickly go through what the SaaS is like. So I'm just going to hide this one. All right, so basically for our tech stack, we're using NextJS for both front end and back end, NextAuth for authentication, MongoDB for storage, Express. Now Express is going to be used to, our Express backend is going to be used to handle the AWS related issues like sending mass email or bulk emails. We're going to create a web worker that will monitor some Amazon Web Services so that you can effectively and scalably send out those emails. Then, so obviously we're going to use AWS as well. So AWS, we're going to be using 3 AWS services: SES, SQS and SNS. You can check out what those mean, but this is for email, this is for queue, and this is for notifications. Now we're also going to use Zeptomail. Zeptomail is also used to send email, but it only sends transactional emails. So if you want to send a single email, Zeptomail is actually cheap and very easy to set up. Then I'll be using bunny.net to store the files, images and stuff, and the bounce will be to validate emails before sending. So this is going to be my tech stack, and actually let's just quickly see what the SaaS is like. Of course, obviously I'm not done building, but I just want to show you very quickly. So if you come here, where am I supposed to be now? Yeah, so this is what the SaaS is like. So basically you have an email list. So this is like an account with an email list, a single email list, but you could create multiple email lists. So for example, I create content on programming, JavaScript related programming, but I also do WordPress. So for example, if I wanted to be able to build a WordPress email list, then I can just say create a list, and then I'll just give the list any name. So this is going to be WordPress list, or just say WordPress email list, or whatever it is I want to do, and then I'll just say create list. So this is going to create that email list for me, and then I can start building this email list as well. So but for now, this data surge here is my primary email list, so that's why you see default here. So now that I have created this WordPress email list, I need to be able to create a template such that when people subscribe to your email list, what notification are they going to get in their email? So this is where the template comes in. So this is my default template: welcome email data surge. My username is data surge, so that's why you see data surge there. So if I try to edit this template, you're just going to see like a basic welcome email. So this is what it looks like, just welcoming you to the platform, blah blah blah. So but you can create your own templates. Of course I don't want to do that now, but it's just drag and drop. So just drag stuff and put it here, and that's it. So for example, if I go to like view template and I say create template, you're just going to see that I can just drag and drop stuff. So for example, if I wanted to add maybe like a button, all I just need to do is drag the button and just drop it here and then edit. Or maybe if I want to add like a heading, I just drag it and drop it and then edit. So that's basically how it works. Now when you've created like an email list and the template that your new subscribers are going to get when they sign up, then you can now create a landing page. So this landing page is like what you're going to share on social media, you know, for your users to subscribe and all of that. So let me quickly show you how it works. So for example, if I say create page, right, this is what it shows me. Okay, let me collapse this guy. So you're going to give your page a name. So I'll just say WordPress. Let's just say WordPress, and I think it should be available. Yeah, so because the name has to be unique, so I'll say WordPress, and then I'm just going to select a list. So I want to do WordPress email list. And so when people subscribe, what email templates do you want them, what email message do you want them to get? So here I'm going to see the welcome email, but I could have created another one if I wanted. And then you can now select your page layout. So what this means is that you can have like different layouts for your landing page. So you see, this is standard, right? This is standard, reverse, and then this is video. So if you want to like have a video on your landing page where you know, do your marketing and all of that, you can also have that. Then this is video at the bottom. So everything is actually great and everything works here. So I think I'll just go with this one. Then you can also like work on the form layout. So for example, I can do something like this. I don't want the form to be, I just want it to be in a single line. And then I think this works, and then I'll just say next. So which means I'm going to need to use a video, right? I don't have to go to YouTube and get a video now. So let me just go back and just say I want it to be like a standard. Okay, so I'm just going to have an image and then my email list. Okay, perfect. So here, or maybe I'll just go with basic. Yeah, so basic is actually okay. So here I'm just going to go say next, and I will say WordPress newsletter. So here I'll just say WordPress newsletter, and then I'll just leave everything as is. And you can also change the design, the color on your page. So for example, I don't want this yellow color, I want something else. So let's just say something, how about this? Okay, something like this. And you can also like change the color of this inner part. So I think this one is actually fine, but you can, I'm just trying to show you can do stuff. So but this one is actually fine. Then you can also change the color of the text. So like this text here, you can make it red or whatever it is you want, but I think black is actually working for me. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'll just go ahead and save this page. So once you save this page, you can now share the link. So you see I have this WordPress page. So although this is on localhost, but the point is you can share this link anywhere. So for example, if I copy this link and just open it on another like tab, this is what you're going to see. So it's just going to load that page, and you know, you're just going to have your page here. Now you can say I have Cloudflare protecting the form, Cloudflare Turnstile protecting the form. So for example, if I wanted to subscribe to this new WordPress list, all I just need to do is to just say I just need to add my email. So I'll just add maybe Xenotrust, and then I'll just of course click here, because if you don't click here, it's not going to go. And then I'll say subscribe. So once you hit subscribe, oh okay, so you see there's some form of email validation that's already in place. So it says here that I entered an invalid email. That's because I actually entered an invalid email. So you see it's likely a typo. So what I need to do now is to correct it. So this is like to help your users make sure that they are entering their email correctly. So I've corrected it, and then I will say subscribe. So this time, oh wow, I'm getting failed to fetch. I have absolutely no idea why. Okay, so but I'm just going to refresh the page and subscribe with the proper email again. Okay, so let me just go with a correct email. So this one, and then I'll just remove that, and then I'll just say like so, and then I'll say subscribe. All right, so it says email sent, please check your email, blah blah blah. So now let me just go ahead and check my email just to be sure that it actually was, you know, sent. So this is me inside of my email, and as you can see here, we have this one here, and I'm just going to open it, and here you can see that we have the welcome email right here. Okay, so that works, everything seems fine. Now I'm going to go to the list, the email lists, and I'm just going to go back to my email list. Let's actually see. So you can see in our WordPress email list, you see here that we have one subscriber, and that is this subscriber here. All right, and obviously you see here we have information about where the subscriber came from. So because I just typed it out, the URL in the browser, it says direct. But if I were to put it on my YouTube description, it's going to know that the user came from YouTube, and you're going to have that information here. So this is how you can like create multiple landing pages, create multiple offers. Maybe you can create like an ebook and use that to grow your email list. Several things you can do, right? All right, so that's like one part of the project, and very shortly I'm going to go into the code and just share a bit about what we're doing in the code now. But what another thing I'm looking at integrating is building a wait list. So not just an email list, but a wait list for when you're trying to create a new product. So for example, as I'm building out this SaaS right now, I would like to have like a wait list where my users can, you know, see like a landing page, see what I'm building, or have like a description of what I'm building, and then be able to drop their email on my wait list for when I'm done building this project. So that's what I'm also trying to look at integrating. So like you can also create like a wait list. It's like a landing page really that now has your form embedded inside of it. Well, I think I should not, you know, demo that now. Maybe in another video I'll demo that. But what I'm going to do is I'll just explain a little bit about how we are sending bulk emails. So so this is in the email campaign section. Now let me actually just explain that here. So if you wanted to send, let's say you wanted to send 100,000 email, you have an email list of 100,000 subscribers. If you try to send out that email request once, then you're going to crash your server, because I mean, how do you want to send 100,000 emails once in a second? So you're going to DDoS yourself, and you're going to crash your server, and everything will just fail really. So what you need to do to be able to send out bulk emails is you need to use a number of Amazon Web Services. And so we're going to use Amazon SQS, which is a simple queue service, SES, which is simple email service, and SNS, which is simple notification service. And I will tell you how that is set up. So let me actually bring up the code and explain how this is going to work. Where's my code? Okay, so right here you see okay, let me tell you where I am first. So this is the campaign, email campaign. So if I try to create a campaign, right, I first need to select the list. So let's assume that this WordPress list, instead of it having one subscriber, it had 100,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers. And then I'll just, you know, add a subject. So I'll just say getting started with WordPress. All right, so that's the name of this campaign that I want to send to all of my subscribers. And now I'm just going to select the email template I want to send to them. Since I don't have any email template, I'm just going to click this one. So right here on the right, you're seeing like a summary of your campaign. So the email list you're sending to, your email subject, and your template. Now, one of two things can happen. You can send this campaign to yourself, so send to me. It will send it to your email, and so that you can have an idea of what it looks like before you now click on create campaign. Now, when you click on create campaign, what happens? So let's go to the code. So I'll come here and I'll show you. So this is the campaign form, right? So when I click on, and I'm using ShardCN for my UI library. So when I click on create campaign, oh, I have a lot here that I got rid of. So this form is submitted. So this is actually like a form. Okay, I think I need to minimize this guy so that I can have one on the right and one on the left, right? Okay, so when I click on create campaign, this on submit is triggered, and it actually let me show you something. It actually makes a request to my create campaign, which is a server action. So let me show you what the server action does. See this create campaign here, it's in this campaign action. So this create campaign, after doing all the checking and making sure that all the data we need to create a campaign are there, it now makes a request to the Express server. So now I'm going to go to the Express server, and then I'll show you like what the request is like, so you can see. So this create campaign here makes a request to the Express server with the data, so the subject, the status, the template ID, and the list ID. It makes that request to the server. And so let me go to the server and show you how the server handles that request. That's the Express server. All right, so this is me on the Express side. Now what happens is that the Express, first of all, this is all of the information I need to be able to adequately create that campaign. Say I wanted to send the email to 10,000 people. All right, so I'm going to come down here. You see, first off, I've imported a number of AWS packages. So AWS SQS is the very one I'm interested in here. This is simple queue service. Like I said in the explanation here, I was explaining to you that you cannot send out a large number of emails, 50,000 email at once. So this is me here from my NextJS side making a request to the backend. So this, everything here is the Express backend. So the Express backend here will create a queue with Amazon SQS, Amazon Simple Queue Service. So let me show you how that works. So I'll come here to my backend code, and with all of this information, so this is me trying to make sure that the request is coming with the right API keys and all of that. And I'm going to take my email list, and then I'm going to make it into batches. So depending on the quota that Amazon gives you, so for example, if you just register on Amazon SES, Simple Email Service, they are going to tell you that you can send 14 emails per second. So let's say I have 10,000 emails. I'm putting it inside this batch. I'm putting those 10,000 emails into the batch such that I can now say I want to send 14 emails per second. All right, or 10 emails per second. So this will make sure that you don't send all of the emails together. You don't send 10,000 emails at once. So, but you can apply to Amazon SES, and then they will increase your quota. So depending on what you request from them. So let's say I've applied to them and they increase it to maybe 50 emails per second, then I can make this 50. So basically I'm just sending it in batches of 50. Do you get? Good. So once you have that in place, you can now come here and we're going to create a queue. So to create a queue, first of all, the queue needs to have some data. So we're going to have, this is the params for the queue. This is everything I'm saving. All this information, I'm saving it, with the queue. So the user ID, the user email, list ID, the sender name, the email list. But now I'm sending it per batch. So I'm not sending the 10,000 at once. I'm sending it per batch. So this is a for operation here, for off loop, and then the subject and the message. So I'm going to come here and I will send the message. So this is the send message command rather, and then I will now use my SQS client to create that queue. So that's what I'm trying to do here, SQS client.send, and then I'll create the queue. Of course, I'm handling the errors as well. If for any reason there's an error, I'm going to be able to see the error in the console. All right, then what else am I trying to do here? Okay, then I also, once I've sent this, I've created this queue in Amazon service, I will now create the campaign and save it in my database. So this is me saving the campaign in my database. Perfect. Now, when this queue has been created in Amazon SQS, I now need to have like a service that will be monitoring Amazon SQS. Is there any job or is there anything in any message in the queue that you want me to handle? Now that is going to now be the work of my web worker. So I have this email worker.js. So let me show you what this email worker.js does. Now this email worker.js is going to run every, I think, 10 seconds. So let me show you at the end. Okay, so it's going to run every 10 seconds. It's going to fire every 10 seconds. What is it going to check every 10 seconds? So it's going to check, let me go up and show you. Yeah, so this is SQS. So it's going to make a request to Amazon queue service to check, is there any message in the queue? I would have loved to log into Amazon AWS and show you, but I actually logged in on my second computer, so logging in here will take time and I don't want to have to do that. But maybe in another video I'll explain how that works. So this is me calling this function to process the queue, and like I said, this function fires every 10 seconds. So I'll first make a request to Amazon SQS. So this is me trying to check if there's anything in the queue. So SQS.send, and basically I want to receive any if there's any message in the queue, I want to be able to receive that message. So when I receive the message, I would destructure the message, so, and then I would get out all the data that I saved when I created the queue. So this user ID, user email, and everything, this is coming from Amazon SQS, because when we created the queue, we saved all of that data. So if you go to the params, these params here, when we wanted to create the queue, see, look at all the data we saved. Now we are getting, this worker here is getting the message from the queue and destructuring all of that data. So now this email worker is what will now invoke Amazon SES, which is simple email service. Don't mind all my commenting out, you know, the project is always evolving, so you get to comment some stuff out, and you know. So here, after I get the data and destructure it, the first thing I want to do is I want to actually confirm that that campaign exists. So here I just say, look, find any campaign that has the subject, the user ID, and the list ID. So if it finds it, then we can now proceed. Now, initially here I say if you don't find it, then delete that message from the queue, but I commented it out because I wanted to take another approach. So now that we've been able to get the queue or the message from the queue, we will now come down here and send the message. So, but how do we send the message? Yes, so there are some things you need to append to your message, and one of them is you need to allow the user to be able to unsubscribe from that email list. So for you to do that, you need to have like some logic, and that's what I'm doing here. That's not the only logic I have here. So I have things like link tracking to know when the user clicks a link inside of, you know, your email campaign. Then I have things like open tracking to know when the user has opened the mail. All of that has been set up. I will talk about that maybe in another video. So but let me scroll down and show you how the email is sent. So we're going to come down here. So yeah, so this is how we send our email. So we have this email params, and basically the destination is the email you want to send to. This is the message body. So the message body has the message itself and the subject. So you can see here I said message with unsubscribe link. That is because I've appended an unsubscribe link to this every message that is sent out. So that's what you see here right now. Then I have the source and then the reply to email. So the user that is receiving the email is going to be able to reply to whoever is creating this campaign. So now once we have these email params in place, we can now fire this function to send the email. So it's SQS client.send, and then we're just going to call this send email command and send that email. So I'm also logging to the console that the email was sent to and all of that. So so basically that's how you send the email. Now, last but not the least, it's such a robust project, right? Maybe since I've explained it, let me actually put it in practice to show you. So I'm gonna come here to my browser, and then I'll just go to this guy. I think I'll need to stop this video now because I don't want to exceed more than 25 minutes. So let me come here to my code here. I'll expand this guy. Now I want to create an email list. I want to send out an email list, but this time I don't want it to be to this single list, this WordPress list. I want to send it to a list that has like multiple emails. So let me copy this guy and go to these emails. Okay, so I think this data source has two, so you can see Donald Z and Zeno Trust. Okay, that's fine. So I'll send to this one since it has two emails, because I don't want to send to just one. So I will come here to campaign, and then I'll just say I want to create a campaign, and then I'll just do like this and say I want to send to data source because it has two, and then I'll just say maybe get started with WordPress, and then I'll just send these templates. Good. So now let me go ahead and create the list. So I'll say create campaign, and I'm getting, wow, I'm getting this error. Why? Have I created this campaign before? No, I've not. Okay, I guess there's something wrong. So let me just refresh and try again. So WordPress lists, and then I'll just say data search, and then I'll say create. Okay, so obviously something is wrong here with our, oh, I know exactly what is wrong. I'll fix it in 1 second. I know exactly what is wrong here. So let me just pause the recording. So the issue with that was that I changed some fields in my MongoDB model, so that was why we were having that issue. So now that I've deleted the table from MongoDB, everything should be solved. I should just say create campaign, and here I'm just going to say, okay, let's just actually go with the WordPress email list, but I wanted to send to the data source so that you see that I'm sending to at least more than one email is being sent. So that's why I'll just choose the data source list because it contains 2 emails. Then I would then say, okay, let's just say WordPress starter pack. So let's just say WordPress starter pack, and then I'll just select the only template I have, right? I feel like I should have created another template. So remember, we're going to send this to 2 emails. So I'll go ahead and say create campaign, and fingers crossed it says the campaign has been created. So you can see this is the campaign stats. I've sent 0 emails because I just created the campaign. From that particular email, nobody has unsubscribed, nobody has opened it, and nobody has clicked on it. But now if I refresh this page, then immediately you see here that it's supposed to say, I think, 2 emails. Okay, because I did 10 seconds, but don't worry, it's going to increment to 2 emails because I did 10 seconds. The webworker is firing every 10 seconds, so it needs at least 10 seconds. So, but what I'm going to do is, in the email list here, the data search email list, I have Zeno Trust and Donald Z. So I'll go first to Zeno Trust to check. So you can see here we have an email from data search, and it's WordPress starter pack. So I'm going to open the WordPress starter pack, and as you can see here, we have this unsubscribe button appended to the list. So that was the whole thing I showed you in the back end. Now a user can easily unsubscribe from this list if they do not wish to be in the list anymore. Now I'll come here and refresh this page, and immediately, oh sorry, not this one, I'll go to the campaign. So in my campaign here, you see here immediately now we have 2 sent emails and we have 1 opened email. So you see opens is 1, sent is 2. So just to confirm that we the email actually got to the second person, I'm going to open the email for the second person. So this is me in the second email. I already opened it actually. So if you come down here, you see that this is WordPress starter pack, which is what I sent, and everything is just in place. Now obviously if I come here, then okay, so that's about it really. Now if I try to unsubscribe from this email list, maybe I'll unsubscribe maybe this one. So let me just unsubscribe this first one. What it will do is that it will like open an interface. Oh, for some reason I've not linked it properly. So but no problems, I would fix that later. So that's like a summary of what we're trying to do in this product or in this project. And there's a lot that's like, it has a lot of components going on, but hopefully in maybe about a week or two, I'm hopefully looking to launch. So now if you're wondering how we're able to build something like this, then I should probably also tell you that I create courses. I have a NextJS course that covers a lot of what I'm doing currently in the SaaS. Okay, maybe I did not show you about the subscription part, but I'll show you about that in another video. So let me just go to subscription. So you can see here that we have some subscriptions already in place. This user currently is on the free plan, but they can upgrade. Like I said, still in development. So there's a lot that you can learn from my courses. I have a NextJS course. This is probably one of the best NextJS course you can find. I know there are a lot of free content on YouTube, but trust me, I'm in the space also, and I know the limitations of many of the free content. I also put out free content on YouTube, by the way. So you can actually check out some of my courses. I have courses on React, on front end, full stack, MERN stack, and several other areas. So make sure you check it out, and I will see you in another video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. All right, if there's any question you want to ask me, just throw that question in the comment section. I'll try and answer as much as I can. All right, I'll see you in another one then.